Welcome to Northwest Profiles, a look at people, places, and events of interest in the inland Northwest.
Overlooking the resort community of Bayview on North Idaho's Lake Pend Oreille, one is given few clues to the existence of a World War II boomtown here. All that remains of the Farragut Naval Training Center, the second largest such facility in the world, are weathered foundations and million-gallon water towers. A local historian with long family ties to Farragut, Douglas Puckett, offers one version of how the site became a naval training center.
It was rumored that Eleanor Roosevelt had once flown over Lake Pend Oreille on a return trip to Washington from the Seattle-Bremerton area, and that she had noticed the lake, particularly its enormity and its two great natural harbors, Idlewild, where we are today, and Scenic Bay, which is modern-day Bayview, and that it was actually Mrs. Roosevelt who was the moving force in the president's decision to locate Farragut Naval Training Center here on Lake Pend Oreille.
Whatever its motives, the Navy's selection of Lake Pend Oreille was announced by Idaho Governor Chase Clark on March 28, 1942. From that moment on, it was, to quote the site's namesake, Civil War Admiral David Farragut, "Damn the torpedoes and full speed ahead." Just 4 days after the announcement, railroads began laying track into the site. April 10, 1942, a contractor was named. 12 days later, ground was broken by a backwoods assortment of loggers, trappers, and Indians.
Workers in this area who had been accustomed to earning $1 a day when and if work was available with Farragut were suddenly earning $1 an hour. The Butler Company, who constructed Farragut, employed over 22,000 workers in the summer of 1942, and would have hired more if they could have found them. So Farragut really, in that sense, marked the end of the Great Depression for the residents of Northern Idaho.
The Navy divided the 4,200-acre site into 6 separate camps, each accommodating 5,000 recruits. Each camp had 22 barracks, a drill hall the size of 6 basketball courts with an indoor swimming pool, a mess hall capable of serving 1,800 men, 2 medical dispensaries, a recreation and ship stores building, and administrative and service buildings. Some 98 million board feet of lumber would come from the surrounding forest to build the enormous facility. Electricity from Bonneville Dam on the Columbia River came in via Spirit Lake. 46 miles of paved roadway was built, 60 miles of water and sewer lines laid. The dust of construction settled temporarily on August 2, 1942, for Farragut's grand opening ceremony. Movie star Dick Powell and other Hollywood celebrities were on hand for the opening of Camp Binion.
A lot of Northern Idaho residents called it their social event of the decade. 30,000 tickets were printed and sold at $1.50 each. In Coeur d'Alene retail stores and drugstores and so forth. They sold out almost overnight, whereupon another 15,000 were printed and sold, and yet another 15,000. And on the day of the grand opening ceremony, some 200 Idaho State Patrolmen were detached to direct traffic from Coeur d'Alene to Farragut for the opening day celebration.
Shortly after the public exited Farragut's gates, the first boots arrived, receiving a new wardrobe, a haircut, and inoculations. In 12 weeks they would leave as sailors, or bluecoats as they were called. But no man would sail the sea before gaining a greater appreciation of terra firma. The drill fields, or grinders as recruits called them, would wear out leather-soled boots in a week. The training program included swimming, firearms, anti-aircraft training, and boat handling. Bayview, with its deep bay, was transformed into a full-blown military harbor with 90 whaleboats for on-the-water training. 5 of the 6 original camps were completed, approximately 1 a month, by January 1943. The 6th, Camp Peterson, in March of that year. An additional 7th camp was added in July 1944. The Farragut Hospital, caring for casualties from the war in the Pacific, grew to 2,500 beds. Farragut's laundry service was considered the world's largest. Ship service stores and eating facilities employed hundreds of civilians, but there are always more jobs than civilians to fill them.
With a population in excess of 60,000, it made it easily the largest city in the state of Idaho at that time.
A city with 9 stores, 80 dentists, 25 cobblers, barbers, tailors, bakers, photographers. There were 9 cafes, 7 movie theaters, baseball diamonds, and a gridiron for inter-camp scrimmages. And there was always music.
In fact, there were so many singers there that almost every individual unit had its own band. But there were many frequent visiting celebrities. Kay Kaiser's band, for example, visited the facility, as did Lana Turner, Dick Powell, Dale Evans, many of the Hollywood celebrities of the day.
Farragut assuredly gave many recruits their first experience fishing or winter skiing. Boat rides to Sandpoint or other lakeside resorts were popular excursions. Buses ran hourly between Farragut and Coeur d'Alene, whose USO club reported over 700,000 customers in 1943. 3 Liberty trains a day traveled to Spokane, whose popularity probably had something to do with its larger female population. In December 1944, the need for new sailors diminishing, the Navy discontinued sending recruits to Farragut. In 15 months, Farragut had trained nearly 300,000 sailors. Total cost of the facility exceeded $120 million, 4 times original estimates. Formally decommissioned in June 1946, a portion of the former service school survived as the Farragut College and Technical Institute, training returning servicemen under the GI Bill. In 1949, sharply declining enrollment prompted the Navy to order Farragut demolished and its records and photographs destroyed. Now in Idaho State Park, most visitors to Farragut are unaware of its past life. Once filled with revelers caught in the Shore Patrol's sweep of Athol's 6 bars, the Navy brig is now used for storage. Returning servicemen look for their picture in the Park Museum and sign a camp log. Residents who remember Farragut still speculate on why it came to Lake Pend Oreille and what it left behind.
If you have a topic for Northwest Profiles, send it to KSPS TV, South 3911 Regal, Spokane, Washington 99223. Northwest Profiles is a presentation of KSPS TV.